All right, everyone. My name's Captain Crush, and I'm back. It's been a few weeks. I took a couple weeks off because NFL's right around the corner, and so is NBA. I know my life is going to be busy. It's going to be raining videos like wet raindrops on a friggin' stormy day in California, or maybe even Florida. I don't know. But the point is, I'll be having weekly, daily videos all season long, just like before. So strap it in, buckle it in, whatever you want to do, but get ready because it's coming. Lord knows I needed a little bit of break from all of it, including the WNBA, because my goodness, if you want to talk about sales, start right there. Let me tell you, if you're new to this channel, this isn't what I normally do. Normally, I'll go over the plays and try to give you arguments for both sides of the coin. Over, under, more or less, fewer, higher, whatever have you. But the point is, today, it's not about that. Today, I'm going to give you guys some hard truths. Hard truths that I had to accept about my own Discord community, about the people that support me the most, and about truths that I know that the YouTube audience and TikTok faithful need to accept as well. This video is going to be about how to maximize your profits, and to do that, the first thing we need to talk about, process, okay? And that's what this video is. So if that's something that's going to interest you, stick around because maybe you'll learn something. But if that's not going to interest you, then click off right now, because guess what? You ain't going to like what I have to say, because I'm breaking and dealing right here, right now, live and in person. All right, so right here I have 4 check boxes of what I go through anytime I'm looking at a play, a fantasy prop, whatever you want to call it. This is the 4 pillars that I use: Vegas odds, model projections, trends, and game theory / narrative, which basically means, is there any type of media hype around it? Is there anything going on as far as records to be chased, playoff implications, things of that nature. But notice what number 1 on the list, it's Vegas odds, and it's number 1 for a reason. Now, before I go into these 4 little pillars and break this down, there's 2 things that I need you guys to accept so everybody's on the same page, all right? There's 2 types of fantasy sports players / sports bet, okay? 2. There's only 2. The first group is a group of guys / girls, whatever, that literally want to bet sports because they like sports. They have a little bit of knowledge of sports. They want to be able to sit in front of the tube on the TV or whatever, their mobile phone. It is what it is. It's 2023, and they want to sweat the game live, and they want to have some coin on it because they like the dopamine, the adrenaline. They like it. They live for it. That's the first group. That particular group, they're not here to make money yet. They're just there because it's a hobby. They're paying. They know at the end of the year that they're going to be down money, but instead of going to the movies, they're using that money to put it on a game and get the excitement and action that they would get from a movie. It's called entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that group of people. And here's the thing. A lot of people that are in that group, they hate to admit that to themselves, but everything they do puts them in that group. There's nothing wrong with being in that group, folks. You can be in that group. But if you want to get out of that group and move into group number 2, which is the group of people that like sports, they want to sweat sports, but at the same time, they're willing to find time and put in the work to become a profitable bettor, and maybe, just maybe, squeak out a 2 to 5% return on investment, aka ROI. If you hear me say ROI, it means return on investment. Maybe squeak that out, and that group of people is the one that this video is mostly for. Okay, it takes a special kind of person to admit to themselves that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but rather it's a brutal grind that literally can take the strongest of men, break them in half, and have them crying to their mother. That's this sport. That's what we live for. This is what this is. So if that's not you, then you need to uninstall every app you got, because it's gonna be tough. And the fact of the matter is this: if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. The books wouldn't exist, and everybody that did do it would be millionaires. It ain't that way, Chief. It ain't hitting. All right? The only way to get better at this is to use these 4 pillars or some type of variation of them that you've made on your own. All right, so we're going right now to number 1, Vegas odds. You have PrizePicks right here. A lot of you folks need to understand this. Every prop on this board is most of the time gonna have a Vegas number, a plus or minus number that comes along with it. All right, that's just how it is. I don't care if you think you know better than Vegas, folks. You don't. The number is already going to be perfect. The line is the line because those guys said it. They know what they're doing. They're smarter than me. They're smarter than you. It's most likely at this point some type of variation of some mathematician and AI wizardry that we don't even know what goes on behind the curtain, okay? But the lines are always hooking you and coming within millimeters because that's how good these guys are. So if you think you're going to have any type of edge, you need to be shopping around, which is called line shopping from book to book, all right? So here we are. You have Justin Jefferson for NFL, 91.5 receiving yards. Kels, Jamar Chase, 80.5. Let's just take Jamar Chase, 80.5. He's at 80.5 receiving yards. You want to take more or less? Okay, so this needs to be the first step in your process, all right? You'd go look there, and then you'd go over to Underdog, the number 2 rival to PrizePicks. You'd go to NFL. You'd want to find Jamar Chase, and you'd check his line and see if it's at 80.5, and it is. It's at 80.5. So you know there's going to be no edge discrepancy between those two books because they're the same line, they're the same thing. There's no value to be had on choosing to play on Underdog or choosing to play on PrizePicks. So you can automatically wash that up. But there's other sites like Sleeper, Parlay Prop, Thrive Fantasy, all those, and you want to be able to check those too and see if you can find an edge. So can you go to each one of these sites individually and find them all on your own? Absolutely you can, but who has time for that? All right, you can literally just use one software. There's plenty of tools out there. The one that I'm going to use for this particular video is called OddsJam. All right, here it is. A nice little layout here, blue and green. You know I like the color green. You know I like the color blue, but here it is. You can go on here. You can separate the league football. All right. PrizePicks, so you're under PrizePicks. This is how it would work, folks. You're oddsjam.com. You're under the fantasy optimizer. It's right here, fantasy optimizer. Click it. It'll take you to this, okay? Then you go to PrizePicks, if that's the site that you're looking on, which 90% of you are using PrizePicks. Then you can go to the filters. You'd set it to whatever sport you're looking for, but let's just say you're looking for football, okay? Apply, because that's what I'm gonna look at here. And again, I'm doing this with no script. I'm doing this live because that's just how I do things. All right, so once you're at Jamar Chase, you see the PrizePicks line. It's 80.5. You already know that. You're going into it, and you want to see what other books have it at set. DraftKings, FanDuel, they don't have anything, but you got Parlay Play, another big competitor, 82.5. And then you have Thrive Fantasy, another big competitor, 84.5. Then you have Underdog, which you already know is the same. And then you have Vivid Picks, which I don't even know what Vivid Picks is. I'm sure that they're probably some competitor. But the point is that you can come right here and it's all neat and organized for you in one little position. So if you know that PrizePicks is offering this line at 80.5, Underdog's offering at 80.5, and then you see Thrive's offering at 84.5 or 82.5 over here at Parlay Play, you know that you're getting value. So right out of the gate, nothing else matters. This doesn't matter. The odds to hit, the Vegas odds, nothing. You automatically know. I told you, let's go back to the basics. The lines makers for these sites are better than you and me. They know everything. So if you know that the high line that's being set, this is a book. They're putting it out there. They're over under. If they're putting it out at 84.5, then you can know that at 80.5, you're getting value on what it would be. Even Parlay Play, they have it at 82.5. So that's a mid-range there between 80 to 84. So we're going to take more on PrizePicks because we're getting 4 yards of value. Does that make sense? And if anyone's saying they're cap, 80 is okay, but 84, it's only 4 yards. 4 yards might as well be 4,000, okay, when you're talking about sports betting in this situation. Every half a point, every half a yard, every half a reception, half a rebound, whatever sport you're dealing with, it matters. It changes everything, okay? Push equity matters. All that type of stuff matters. But the reason I'm showing you this is so whether you're going to use OddsJam or whether you're going to go and do this manually and waste a whole bunch of time, which most of you don't have, needs to be your first step. And this chance to hit, this is what they done automatically behind the scenes, they do this for you. They remove the juice that Vegas puts in these lines, these numbers, minus 119, minus 122, whatever those lines are. Their algorithm behind the scenes removes the juice, which is a formula, and then because of that, it can give you the percentage chance it has to hit given all the mathematical data, which is 59% given here. For this number, it's going to change based on whatever filter you have. So if you have it clicked for underdog, it would be something else, but we're focusing on PrizePicks for this video, okay? So just because something here is 59% chance to hit, that doesn't mean you're going to put that in your prop slip and it's going to hit No, that means if you run it 100 times on average, 59% of the time it's going over. That still leaves you with 41 times where it's going to go under, okay? And that's just how it is. But in the end, like I said, two groups of people, we're bringing it back to that. If you want to be a long-term winner, the only thing you care about is this number here, 59%, and this number here being lower than this and being on the right side of it. Because if I tell you that you're going to be on the right side of it 59 times out of 100, it doesn't matter what you think, what your gut thinks, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you make the right play day in and day out. And at the end of the year, if all you did was that, you would be hard missed to not be profitable. I'm telling you. People call this plus EV betting, and EV is called expected value, but it's not even, we don't even need to call it that. It's just common sense. All right, you line shop, you find a tool that makes it easier for you to do that, and you got this right here. Okay, if you want to try this out, OddsJam, you can use promo code CRUSH, I believe, get 25% off. And I'm not just plugging that because I'm getting paid to do it. I'm telling you because I use these tools every single day as the first pillar in my process. I've done TikTok videos on the Vegas odds. You can go there, you can pull it up, and you can see, and that will go more in depth onto what this number here means, the minus 158, the minus 119. This is just for those people who need to know what line shopping is and the first pillar of the process, all right? For WNBA, the same thing applies, different sport. We got Chelsea Gray, 4.5 rebounds, 61% chance to go under, all right? FanDuel has her line set to 3.5. So you already know that PrizePicks has the line inflated a whole rebound, folks. That's a lot, all right? So if you know that FanDuel set the line at 3.5, what would you want to do if you're on FanDuel? Well, you'd want to take over at 3.5 because the same thing inversely is true. If you know that PrizePicks has it at 4.5 and you're laying money on FanDuel, you can go ahead and take more at 3.5 on FanDuel. All right? You wouldn't want to take under there. You'd want to take more. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you by example. So you can look and know you're getting value on PrizePicks because FanDuel is an extremely large market. Those guys know what they're doing, just like DraftKings, just like Underdog. You want to find the value. This needs to be step one in your process, okay? I preach this over and over, and I know this is boring stuff. This isn't for group one. This is for group two, the folks that actually want to learn and stop throwing money down the toilet and maybe want to grind out a small little profit, or maybe, guess what? Maybe you just break even at the year, which that's a W. Trust me when I tell you, if you can break even at the end of the year, if you're doing this every day, 5 times a week, you're way, way, way ahead of the game. I promise you that. So you can go over here and look. The same thing applies. Jonquel Jones, over 11.5 points, 56% chance to hit, so you're still going to miss 44% of the time. But you can see on FanDuel, they have it at 12.5. Whatever this sports book is, bet now, I don't use it, 12.5. So you can see how the lines matter, okay? The line is king of the road. That is what matters. Vegas odds is king of the road. You use this stuff, and this is going to give you a leg up instantly. I didn't clickbait you. This stuff instantly makes you a better sports bettor. It's that simple. It's literally, you don't need to worry about models. You don't need to worry about any of that stuff. This is all you need to worry about. You see this number, you see that, you see it's a green box. I could literally train my little Frenchie to do it. Hey, you see a green box like this that says 55 or higher, you want to take more or under on it, whatever it's telling you to take. Put it in a 2-man with another one just like it, and bang, wait for the results, okay? That's that. So now we can go on to step 2, model project, all right? Model projections. What's a model, Captain? A model is just one of the many, many fantasy sports sites or sports betting sites that give you projections by some Joe Schmo like me that sits behind there and comes up with his own projections based on minutes played, opportunity, or whatever they're having used to make up their model and give you a projection. So let's say Nalissa Smith over 8 rebounds, and they have their model projecting it for 8.8 or 9, whatever. That is something that you need to do. You can make your own model using Excel and spreadsheets and all that other stuff. You can pay someone to make you a model, okay? But what you need to be doing is taking the ones you like from the Vegas odds, okay? The 55% and up, usually those are the ones you want to target, and then compare it to your model projection. If you don't have a model, you can use your gut projection or whatever you think you want to use. You can use anything but the last 5, I'm begging you. But that's what you would do next. So you know to which ones are going to be prop value based off the Vegas odds. Then you can compare it to your model projection, and then you want to look for trend. All right, what's a trend? I'm going to show you what's not a trend. You see this right here, Breanna Stewart, 43.5 fantasy points. This isn't a trend, folks. All right, looking at the last 5, it tells you nothing. It's literally the psychology trick of roulette that Vegas casinos have been. It's the dawn of time. You walk up to that roulette table, you see the screen, it says it's come red the last 5 times, black the last 3 times, red 10 times in a row. Little guy, sports better, aka you, D-Gen, walks up. Bang, give me 100 in chips, dealer. All right, I give you the 100. Put it down. It's got to be coming black. It's been red 10 times in a row. It's coming black. Bang, you get your money shuffled the other way. You lose. Why, Cap? Because this doesn't mean anything. I don't care if it's come red 10 times, black 10 times. Each individual game or spin on the wheel is its own individual event, okay? So take this and throw it out the window, because 90% of you guys make your picks just like this. You go down, you look at the last 5. Oh, she had this last game, this, and this is how you're making your picks. And this is why you're on the deposit screen every other day. Okay, let's be real with yourselves. If you're gonna be doing this, you have to be honest with yourselves and accept hard truth. And a hard truth is making your picks like this lands you to the deposit screen. Now, I'm gonna say this as well. You can do all the research in the world. You can have the Vegas odds right. You can have the model projections right. You can actually have the trends right. You can actually have the game theory. She's chasing a record. He's chasing a record right. And still lose your bet, because at the end of the day, that's what makes this great. That's gambling. That's what it is. You can have everything right and still lose, because that's just the game that it is. That's just how this is. It's not for the weak of heart. I say that over and over. Just ask my Discord. Probably tired of hearing me preach this, but Lord knows I gotta do it. There ain't enough YouTube videos up here preaching this stuff to you guys. So I just decided that I would come on here and make one, because I actually care to see you guys do good. Believe it or not, I care to see you guys do good. More money in your pocket is a good thing for me. It's a good thing for everybody. So let's not get off topic. We're talking about trends. Now, you can go to the last 5 and see a 5-game sample size, but that's not a trend. All right, a trend is going to be something you can do over on Outlier or another website, whatever. You can go to ESPN's actual website and you can see, look at the box scores, and you can see all the box scores games they've played for the last 20 games and do your own mathematical approach to it, whatever have you, looking at the last 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is you want to look at, and you can see if you can actually find a trend that way. I would say 20 games is a decent sample size in the WNBA to be able to come up with any type of trend. But when it comes to trends, you don't really want to look at things as far as like, okay, she got whatever this even is. I just picked it at random. Over 9.5 rebounds. Okay, she got 10, 5, 10, 10, 11, 12, 7. She's trending up, Cap. She's trending up. No, I wouldn't even consider that trending up. I look at her range of outcomes. So when I look at this last 20, I see her floor is 5. Floor means the lowest possible that she's had, and the ceiling, which is 20. So she has a floor of 5 and a ceiling of 20 in a 20-game sample size, okay? It could be different based on, however many we go, but for argument's sake, this shows 20, so this is what we're gonna look at. Floor 5, ceiling 20. So if we're trying to find a trend, you'd want to see how many times she's in or she's close to that ceiling or close to the floor. So right here where she has 10, 11, 10, 14, 20, she's close to her ceiling. So you can see that's when I would say, okay, she's trending up close to her ceiling right here. She peaked at her ceiling. then she's coming back down. She had a bad game. She's still technically trending up because one bad game, remember, it's one event. We're not looking at one individual event. We want to look at the macro data here, okay? This is still a 20-game sample size. For NBA and WNBA, it's different. For NFL, the sample sizes are a lot more condensed because there's only 16 or 17 regular season games, whatever. All right, so 12, 11, 10, 10, 5, 10. Now, over here, when she's at 9, 11, 10, 5, 5, 9, 7, 6, would you think, oh, Cap, she's trending down because of this? Not really. She's still within her range of outcomes between 5, 9, 7, 6, 5, and 20. Remember, we're dealing with 5 and 20. So if she went below 5 and was starting to get like 5, 5, 4, 3, 1, and then went back up to 6 and back down to 4, I would say, okay, she's trending down. But as long as I see this, I think she's right in between her range of outcomes. The prop is 9.5. I'd revert back to the Vegas odds, which is minus 125. I would check my model and see what that says and go from there. Another thing, when I talk about trends, it's not even so much range of outcomes with floor and ceilings. It's more about minutes. When it comes to WNBA or NBA, minutes equal money. I told you guys that. Minutes equals money. So you want to see how many times the minutes are trending up, meaning look back at the historical games. It's very difficult to do 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure they tell you the minutes played here, and they do right here. 40, 38, 38, 40, 40, 35, 31, 40, 38, 40, 30. You can see all the numbers here, folks. So you can see when her minutes are trending up or trending down. But blowouts are going to be there. You never know what the games were unless a little bit deeper dive. But you can see that her minutes have pretty much stayed the same. She has a ceiling of 40 and a floor, I guess, of 22, but I wouldn't even count that because that's clearly an outlier game. Her floor is most likely, same here, her floor is most likely going to be 32 minutes on an average, all right? I would say 32 would be the floor, 40 being the ceiling, so anywhere between 32 to 40. And then, you know, so if you're looking at games and you see something start to dip like that, then maybe you can find a trend, all right? So we've covered trends. There's one last thing that I want to talk about, and that is game theory and narrative. Remember, I told you guys we got the 4 pillars, and I know this video's long. My God, I'm long-winded again. I'm doing this live. I don't have a script. I don't even have a notepad, a handy-dandy notepad. All I got is my brain and everything that I stored up there that I said I wanted to talk about, and I'm probably all over the place. So thank you, folks, for listening to me ramble, but I promise you, if you grasp the ideas in this video, it'll help you out. And if I help just one person, my God, I did my job. So game theory and narrative. That means when you're talking about NFL, it would mean, all right, this team has playoff implications. They need to win this game. If you're talking about NBA, the same thing. It could also mean this person, for NBA, it's their birthday. It's a revenge game, meaning they got traded from that team last season. They're coming back. They want to make a statement. Or they're chasing a record. Jackie Young's close to 2,000 points. Diana Taurasi, she's trying to make 10,000 points or 40. I forget how many points it was. But that night, the writing was on the wall, and I could go back and show receipts. I said, if you fade Diana tonight when she's literally 20 to 25 points from breaking the 10K record, you're lost. That was the easiest over on the board because you already know the media wants her to cover. The media is going to make a big deal about it. She's a woman. She's Diana Taurasi. She's a crafty veteran. And you know that they're just going to make a big deal about it. All the stars aligned. That is a narrative that you want to hop on, okay? All these things are micro edges, but in the end, they will give you a bigger edge if you just go ahead and follow the process. One last thing that I want to talk about that isn't one of the pillars, but it's something that coincides with those pillars. Call it the gum that holds the pillar up, all right? It's basically attitude, frame of mind. Like golf, this whole thing is mental, okay? It will break you down to your knees if you let it, all right? Recency bias. What's recency bias? It means you do all the research. You make the right play. You put the person in your slip and bang, they chalk. And then the next time you're faced in the similar situation, you remember, hey, I did all the research. I did all this and I put that person in and they chalked me. There's no way I'm going back to it. And you fade it, or worse, you take the opposite of what you know is a good play and you do the opposite because of what happened before, and now you're letting what recently happened impact how you're making play now, and you're going to lose in the long run. That needs to be removed from your thought process and your betting process immediately. Recency bias will destroy your bankroll. The eater of bankrolls, okay? Bray Wyatt style, you know how he's the eater of worlds? Well, recency bias is the eater of bankroll. I'm telling you right now from my own experience, 10 years ago, I was the biggest recency bias fish on DraftKings find. And then I learned the hard way, and now I crush. So that is what you need to do. Second, attitude means if you have a bad day, you don't want to start pre-chalking player props, which means you have the under at 4.5 Ks. You don't want to see the person at 4 and just automatically throw in the towel and be like, oh, it's chalked, and then go make steam bets because you already think your lineup is chalked. All right. You don't want to do that because you never know what can happen. It's not over till the final whistle blows, and it happens all the time. Just because they have 4 and you took less at 4.5 doesn't mean that it's automatically chalked. So remove that from your mind. Stop focusing and obsessing on the app itself, watching the bar move, and instead just know that you put in the right play, set it and forget it, and whatever's going to happen happens. If you want to sweat your lineup, that's completely fine. I'm not telling you not to sweat your lineup, but when you sweat your lineups and your slips, you can't be doing it emotionally. All right, you cannot be an emotional gambler. All that does is lead to the deposit screen, and we're trying to stay away from the deposit screen, okay? That is the goal here. So, with all that in mind, you wrap all those things in a nice little blanket, and you automatically can know that you will instantly improve your return on investment. I'm telling you, 100% you can take it to the bank. Remember, if you want to use this, if you want this particular tool, OddsJam, oddsjam.com, promo code CRUSH. You'll get 25% off your first month, but more importantly than that, it does 90% of the work for you. Instead of going from PrizePicks to Underdog to line shop by yourself and then parlay play and whatever else, just go here. It's all nice and a nice little cell for you. You can see everything here just like in a spreadsheet format. Go down the list and you can see what to target and what not to target. Tie it into those other 3 pillars that I said, and you will be thankful in the end. I'm telling you guys, have I ever lied to you? I haven't. All right. Now, that is going to wrap this video up. I will have other videos coming soon. I'm coming back to YouTube and TikTok. The live streams on TikTok will return. The live streams for the community slips will return for NBA, possibly NFL. I have a lot of content coming for you guys. I appreciate you guys, honestly, and if you are interested in anything else that I do, check the description for the link tree. Remember, NFL and NBA are coming, and I'm going to take it up a notch, and we are going to smash/crush. Good luck in all your contests tonight, and I wish you well. Here's the salute. Don't forget to slap the like button and give me a subscribe, and let's crush.